Rav Tzuriel, the former mashgiach of the yeshiva, whom I had the pleasure of learning with in a small chabura during my time in yeshiva, in his Sefer Otros HaTorah, asked the following question. He says, why is it that the yeshivos begin during the month of Elul? Wouldn't it make more sense to begin Rosh Chodesh Tishrei? Beginning of the new year should be the beginning of the Zman. Why do we separate the two and begin a month earlier? And the answer is as follows. I'll quote for you. I afshar la'asos shum davar chashuv bibli ha'achana merosh. It's impossible, I afshar, to do anything that's chashuv without preparation in advance. He cites that similar to a bar mitzvah boy. There's no way that a bar mitzvah boy can wake up on when he turns 13 and one day and all of a sudden become chayiv in all the mitzvahs and know what to do unless he learned about them before becoming a bar mitzvah. And same is true for all spiritual gains. In Yahadus, this concept is central. Chazal teach us, Misha tarach b'erev Shabbos, yochel b'Shabbos. The person who prepares during the week will have what to eat on Shabbos. The Mesilas Yesharim teaches us the entire world, our entire existence, our avodas Hashem, is viewing this world, the Olam Hazeh, as a prosdor, as a hallway to get to the traklin. All we're doing is preparing. The pasuk in Eov tells us we need to work at things. Adam la'omel yula. Things aren't going to come easily. We have to think and contemplate and prepare in advance. As Tzuriel says, I efshar la'asos shum davar chashuv mibli ha'achana mirosh. This is also true for physical things. I'll bring you one simple proof. Cholent. You cannot make cholent in the microwave. Don't even try it. Where do you make cholent? In a slow cooker. It has to go in the pot and cook for 12 hours, for 20 hours, for 24 hours. The longer you cook the cholent, the better it will taste. The more geschmack the Shabbos meal will be. It's brought down that Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld would begin preparing for Rosh Hashanah on the Yom HaMiyuchas. Already before Shavuos, he'd start contemplating and thinking about the things he's working on in preparation for Rosh Hashanah. So how can we prepare for Rosh Hashanah? What should we be doing? So firstly, this series of Chizzuk from the yeshiva are definitely a great start to think about daily ideas and areas of avodas Hashem to get us ready for Rosh Hashanah. I'd like to add one more specific area to think about, in addition to the many that you've heard over the last weeks of the series. When we were home, for some of us, it was a few weeks. For some of us, it was a few months. Before we were able to return out and to continue davening b'tzibur, we davened b'yechidus. What were the takeaways from davening at home? Did we gain a great appreciation for Psukei Zimra? Did we think about the words of David HaMelech more carefully? Now that we've returned to davening with minyanim, many of us, do we take greater efforts to come early to davening? Do we appreciate what it means to daven again b'tzibur, to say dvarim shebekdusha? Do we think about the aspects of tefillah that are meaningful to us that we've thought about over these months? It's not just during the last few months. It's especially a message that's clear, that rings very, very obvious to us when you think about the month of Elul and the month of Rosh Hashanah. During this time period, Rosh Hashanah, we're going to be davening longer in shul than other days of the year. We're going to be making insertions. And I always think about this every year, the fact that we need to be mindful when we're davening Shemona Esrei to add the Hamelach HaKadosh, the Micha Mocha, the Zachreinu L'chaim, all of these things. The only way we're not going to forget is if we're paying attention and we're looking inside the siddur when we daven Shemona Esrei. We add an entire extra tefillah of slichos during this time of year. Again, emphasizing the focus on tefillah that's so important to us. Further, the Rabbeinu Yonah says that tefillah is part of the ikarei hatshuva. It's part of the process of tshuva is through tefillah. And in Parshas Nitzavim, we're told, "B'ficha uvilvalcha la'asoso." The Ramban says is referring to the mitzvah of tshuva. "B'ficha uvilvalcha la'asoso." Doesn't that sound like tefillah? And there are many parallels between tshuva and tefillah. And it's a longer shir. And I remember that Rav Yaakovson gave a shir in yeshiva about Torah, tshuva, and tefillah, all three of them having many similar aspects, thinking about b'ficha uvavavcha la'asoso. So I hope through the series and through contemplation, even though we may have our minds distracted, but to take time each day to capitalize on the remaining days left of Elul, to contemplate, to introspect, and to prepare for Rosh Hashanah. And in the Zat Zechus, may we merit to have a year of health, a year of bracha for all of our families and for all of Klal Yisrael.
בכהנים והעם העומדים בעזרה, כשהיו שומעים את שם השם המפורש יוצא מפי, כהן גדול היו קוראים, משתחווים ונופלים על פניהם. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.